He had poured everything that he had, emotionally, financially, into Wolverhampton Wanderers. He was born, a stone's throw away from the club. It meant everything to him, and yet his biggest disappointment was that we couldn't get over the hump. He'd spent tens and tens of millions of pounds, which in comparison to today's figures looks small, but when you look back then, was an enormous amount of money for one individual to plough into a club.
We never made the final. We got to the playoff semi-final so many times, lost out to Bolton, Crystal Palace, Norwich the year before when we should have gone up automatically. We'd said a few things in the press the year before, they came back to bite us. So once the last game of the season had passed, we trained at Molineux. No one could get to us, no one could do anything. There was a ban on the press. But obviously Sir Jack, it's his club. So I can always remember I'm training and I'm doing my stuff with Bobby Mims and Oaksy and that. And you're focusing. For me, it was the biggest game of my life. And Sir Jack comes walking across, training over the far side of the pitch, and he's got a young lad with him. And he's, just stop a minute, guys. You're like, okay. No problem, so you stop, and he's like, just want you to know that this is a young fan. He wants to wish you all the best. He said you're his favourite player, so just have a little photo of him, have a couple of minutes chat with him, and then, I'll crack on, guys. So I spoke to this young lad, and you're thinking, I'm training here, and with my knees, they would stiffen up as well. But look, that was what Sir Jack was like. He knew that the moments that it could create for people, money can't buy that.
For me, it was normal, just obviously going in every day training, knowing we had the final was that little bit more incentive going into the game. No one wanted to get injured, everyone wanted to stay fit. Funny I say that, I'll be honest, because we were fighting the night before the actual game, old v young.
They're the game, just as normal, as basic as trying to keep the young lads quiet, calm, and your Joe Lescotts, your Matt Murrays, your Lee Naylors, they were bouncing around everywhere at the hotel. They couldn't wait to get going, but you just didn't want to waste their energy in the hotel. You wanted them to calm them down a bit.
I remember pulling up to the ground and we turned down one street and I just seen Sheffield United fans, and I was thinking, where's our fans? It wasn't until I actually got in the ground and we walked out, I just seen Wolves fans all in the ground, no Sheffield fans at all. And I just went, yes, this is us. From that moment, I just knew in my heart that was our game to win.
So we've seen Sheffield United on the pitch in the suits and that, and we're going, well, where are our tracksuits on here? And they were taking pictures of each other on the pitch and the stand, and we'd been told that they'd gone down the night before as well and had pictures in an empty stadium. And we got offered that because you get offered it off card if you want to go down on the pitch, but we refused that. We didn't want to go down. The kit man had gone down and told us the pitch wasn't the best. And that was basically it. So we wanted to have a look like we would do on a normal away game. First, as soon as you get there, let's get the job done, let's get in and get out kind of scenario.
Blake now for Kenny Miller, and he's got Mark Kennedy with him! Oh! A storming start for Wolves! It's Kennedy's corner, it's in there, and Nathan Blake has flicked it in! The Wolves are hungry for a place in the Premiership! Newton's cross, Miller's in there! It is 3-0, it's Kenny Miller. The Wolves are heading to the Premiership, surely.
When we're 3-0 up at half time and we've come in, and the gaffer's basically, he's just keeping everything relaxed as much as we can.
Yeah, half time. I said it's done. I remember saying to Jolien, we're up.
I give the penalty for Matt Murray to do, because he had nothing to do in the first 45 minutes anyway.
Love and ball, and it's given against Butler. Michael Brown has scored 6 out of 6 from the spot this season. Here comes Brown, and Matt Murray has saved it, and that might be definitive proof that it's just not meant to be for Sheffield United, and that it is meant to be for Wolves. It looks like it's finally going to happen for Sir Jack and the Wolves fans, and Sir Jack himself has just spotted himself on the big screen. He's waited a very, very, very long time for this.
When I looked up and I saw Sir Jack put his thumbs up, it was like, we're okay now. He's given us the okay. He's been through all the heartache of other playoffs and everything else. It's okay.
you know, we had a boogie at the end. It was all good. I remember dancing. Yeah, it was mad. There's crazy times, just total euphoria, just mad excitement running through your body.
You see him come on the pitch. He came on hugging everyone, and you could just see. And obviously, he had that immense pride, I'm sure, for himself. But the way he was as a person, he just loved the fact that he'd given so many people that moment. And yeah, the first time in nearly 20 years that we've been in the top flight, and yeah, that was to him, and that is why I believe the Wolves fans love him so much.